I'm about to walk through 3 of the things that you need within your e-commerce brand before you even think about running ads. And this is something we checklist with all of our clients before we even start working with them. Number one is product market fit. It's pretty obvious, but a lot of people like to start things that they're passionate about and all of this crap. We don't find that very efficient. It's just a passion project at that point. You need a product that literally is going to either solve a problem or is in high demand and people genuinely want your product. We have so many guys who are starting these fashion brands, these makeup brands, all this stuff that they don't even know what they're selling, but they know that there's demand for it. That's the only reason for it. And they're the brands that are making the most profit. So having a product market fit. And now what does that consist of? There's a lot more to this, but these are just the broad questions that you need to be asking yourself. Who is your target market? You need to know exactly who your target market is, what they're interested in, what celebrities they're interested in, what magazines are they interested in. Do they go to certain events? Do they go to certain festivals? What kind of restaurants are they interested in? So these are all of the things you need to know when thinking of a product. If you know your market before you know your product, that's even better because then you know exactly what you need to sell. Is it in high demand or is it a desirable product? That's pretty obvious as I've gone through as well. And does it swing through seasons? If so, you need to bring out other products throughout the year to make sure you're maintaining a profitability and momentum within your business throughout that 365 days, essentially. And does it solve a product or does it have a competitive advantage to a different product? For example, we used to work with a brand who had a burner, like an oil burner, but it was such a unique design. They had to put their trademark on it and everything because people were stealing the idea because it was so unique. But it's a competitive advantage because it looks better and smells better, you could say, and people just find it more aesthetic than just an ordinary candle, but they both solve the same problem, but it just had a better competitive advantage. So it doesn't always have to solve it can solve a problem, but it doesn't have to be a new problem, if that makes sense. It just needs to have that competitive advantage. But the main question is there a demand for that certain product? Okay. Number 2 is branding and website. And we see so many brands come to us and they don't have this right. But we don't work with brands if you don't have the branding or the website in touch, like the conversion rate, the content on the website, the pricing, like the coloring, the fonts. If you don't have a good brand in branding and you don't focus on this step before running ads, your ads will be absolutely horrendous. Okay. And if you're working with an ad agency, they should be telling you this essentially. Okay. Because we don't waste our time with any brands who are not confident we're going to get results in because we work a lot of an incentive basis. But what does that consist of? Yet again, good imagery, good price points. It's not necessarily branding, but having good price points on the website obviously is also good because we see so many brands and they're bringing out these random super high price points just because they have such an ego and they think the products are the best in the market, which is fair enough. But if the branding doesn't align with the product price, it ain't going to work. Okay, that's another thing. A good themed layout for the website, so easy to navigate. It's a very streamlined process on the website essentially, and has a good conversion rate. We do have a checklist for a good conversion rate that we go through with every single client. We are giving it away, so if you do want it, follow us on Instagram and send us a DM, link in the description. And the product pages, so make sure they're easy to read. They mention any pain points, so list out and break down all of the pain points of what's going to stop a customer from buying. Because if you have about 10 different products you're running out and they go into a collection page, that's cool. Your content looks good, your price point is good, so they're all scrolling through and everything looks good. And as soon as they click on a certain product they want to buy, you want them to sell. They've engaged with that product, so from that point onwards you then need to sell the product. So understanding all of the pain points and then putting them in the product page, so that way they don't have to ask any questions or make any confusion within their buying psychology. They'll then go ahead and purchase your product essentially. So make sure you are listing your pain points. A lot of people miss this out because it's also helpful within the ads, especially for retargeting ads. Shipping and returns on the page. A lot of people have a separate page at the bottom of their website. If you have it on the product page, it's there and they don't have to scroll, try and find a little link in the bottom of the footer. And if it loads long, people's attention span is short. Make sure it is in the product page. Okay, what's the point? Why would you not have that? Clear add to cart buttons. Make sure it's very clear and concise and memorable. So as soon as they land, it's just pushing them to push the add to cart button. And Apple Pay, if possible, we always recommend clients have Apple Pay on the first of the page just because it increases trust, and it literally is a double click. Majority of the people in the population have Apple iPhone, so it's a no-brainer. Studio content and lifestyle content, so making sure you have both studio shot content so it looks clean and look expensive, and then also content of the product within like a lifestyle scenario, so that way they can visualize the sizing, the coloring of that product essentially, and they can picture that product being worn or like in a certain position or whatever your product is. Okay, and your fonts and colors resonates with the audience. So like if your audience is more aesthetic, you know what vibe and colors to go for. If they're more of a tech audience, you know what kind of fonts and vibes to go for, etc, etc. Now the third one is really important, and that's content. Once you've got these two right, literally the last one you need is good content. Okay, you've got loads of different types of content. You've got UGC, studio shot, and lifestyle shot, and there's so much more to this, but I had to manually write this down, and it took me forever. But yeah, these are the ideas we have. Okay, and we always share this with clients too. UGC. Okay, you can have testimonials, product views, unboxing videos, days in life, before and after content. You can just pause this video if you want to go through all of this, but there's so much UGC that you can create, and UGC genuinely does help, but it doesn't fit for every brand. Okay, it's very good for retargeting through Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, and sometimes even TikTok, but it is very brand dependent. Okay, studio shot content is one of our favorites because it makes the product look expensive, and even if a product isn't expensive but you're making it look expensive, that helps the sales even more, because that way it makes the product come across cheap and then they go ahead and buy. Okay, so if you can get very good studio shot content that fits and resonates with the audience, which we help our clients guide through that process, then you will have very profitable ad creatives. And lifestyle shots, so professional taking shots, whether that be in the street. It depends on the product, but if it's for a fashion brand, for example, like walking through London, walking through a shopping mall with all flowers in the background, or whatever you want to do. And you can create videos from this, images in motion, as I said before. But you can also create this through iPhone shot. That's actually a really good point to make. So iPhone shot content works very well because you can create iPhone shot photos, which is like UGC content imagery, because it kind of like creates a, what's the word? It creates like a realistic effect of that product. Okay, and then what you can also do is create vids. Use CapCut to edit and add trending sounds, captions, etc, etc. Okay, I will correct this. So yeah, but these are all very broad, and each piece of the content should be focused on the segment part of the funnel, so like top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel. So UGC is usually what you work well with for middle funnel, so retargeting, and then studio and lifestyle shots that are professionally taken we use for the front end of your ad funnel. That way, like, the first impressions count. It makes you look expensive, your brand looks very, very good and well branded, and then we retarget them with UGC or UGC creators answering all of the questions that you want to hear, or a customer wants to hear before buying, in case they haven't purchased already. Okay, it depends on the product, but this is all very broad and information, but you need to be getting these three things right before you even bother starting to run ads. And if your ad agency isn't telling you this, then you are wasting, you're literally burning cash. Okay, because if you have missed anything in these steps, and this is very broad, there's much more detail that goes into this, then you need to be basically fixing up. We're taking calls, so if you want to book a call with me directly, I'll leave a link below and we can have a chat, see if we can help you guys give you a free audit essentially. But we are also giving away this doc, so if you want this doc, make sure you DM us on Instagram.